Well, let's try this shit again before I get interrupted again. This life is truly not worth living. Truly is not. 1 hour free. No, 2 hours. Okay, an hour free to 3. Let's see if I can. Yep. I hope you mentioned it about the to decalcify the pineal gland. The government's trying to successfully calcifying it through everything. Food, toothpaste. Made a video about that. With codfish liver oil. Uh, it's omega 8. I forgot the name of the fish. Catfish oil. There we go. We're galactic too. And her. Yeah. Bullshit. See, that's the thing. I've seen this in my meditations. I see this eye. It's been more than a couple of times. I see this eye with the same way as this eye, with the eyebrow and all that. I see it. And the first time I saw it, it started with like really small. Right? Well, that looks real big on the camera like this size, and then it get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, and it looked bigger and bigger. And I've seen this one a couple of times now. The last 3 times was in deep meditation that I saw it. This thing. Hmm? You hear that? Now you know where I mentioned this in another video, where Elon Musk just got permission for a big pit. Yeah, but when did you take the permission? Obviously not you. Must have been somebody in the government, and then they gave you uh, the access, because that's not yours 100%, to use that. And you can see the video online on uh, the shuttle, the little train it has, and it's exactly like this. Now I did heard, I believe it was about a year and a half ago, that there's an underground tunnel from Puerto Rico to New York. And you can get there in like 15-20 minutes, something like that. I want to know about that. Oh yeah, yeah. Humans are not from Earth. I think I started to mention this in another video, my last one. Humans are not from Earth. We need 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids to not give genesis to disease. We know this through the research of a man named, he's still alive, he's probably 90 now. His name is Dr. Joe Wallach. And the reason I say we cannot be from Earth originally is because compared to the other conscious organisms in the planet, we don't, they don't need as much as we do. The people who get the 16 minerals, they're centenarians. They're centenarians. That's another research that Dr. Joe Wallach has found. It's a book called Immortality. It's about yay white. It's awesome. It talks about the Vilcabambas, the Okinawans in Peru, the Titicacas. Um, I think it mentions 2 Puerto Ricans. Which, by the way, It's a big lie right now. What they're doing to us right now, it's a big crime. Because this country is super rich in minerals. Super, super rich. And right now they're taking our oil, which is causing earthquakes right here in Puerto Rico. And on the southeast, on the southeast, in my perspective, southeast. That's down right. Your perspective, whoever's watching this, will be down left. Just watch the map. They have a USAP base in front of a hotel called El Conquistador. They have a underground base there. It's huge. I saw it. It's huge. Uh, ESP, look it up. Um, but I did saw it, and it explains why I saw all the military in the hotel. I went there for like, I think it was 3 days. Yeah, yeah, but don't believe me. Just look it up for yourself. Hold on. Vacuum. Okay. Gary Moshe should really pay attention to this part. He did make a video. The YouTube keeps censoring it as a consequence. The cabal government, whatever, they lost. Um, that he explains how electrons and protons work uh, in a fashion. You guys should really look that up. That part. I think I have a video of that on my channel. Uh, that it's the theory. You can explain almost this whole thing. No, that's not anti-gravity. It's not anti-gravity. It's just like the best way to describe it, to my understanding, is imagine imagine you're in a 3D program, right? Or even easier, a computer game. Let's say it's a computer game. Okay. Now, let's say you have a type of programming, if you will, that you cannot be affected by the forces of the environment. In this case, would be Earth. That's why he says water cannot be or an anti-gravity. It makes no sense. Anti-gravity. It flies are good in both air and water. You mean it's not affected by those forces? By the force that the liquid emits, the push force of the of the space on the planet, because it seems all logical uh, and mechanical. So it really is not that complex. So they don't. Yeah. Sketchy, of course. Sketchy, comma, of course, comma. Adds that China. Adds that. So this is the comment. This is what the quotes. China is already investing significantly in this area. Quotes. Okay. Already. So that means that they have plans for it. Otherwise, they would not invest on it. So I assume I assume they want to invest in the technology. Why? Why would they invest in that? The only the only good, if you will, thing uh, would be like getting minerals to make even better technologies. Maybe in like 5 years or less or 10, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. It's already invested, so that means they're looking for a profit. I assume for the country itself, China, in this area, but technology. Okay, that will be the purpose. It has to be that. But that's like it's like planning. Wow, you're really smart, China. You're thinking of investing in now so that you can get the rewards in 50 to 100 years, maybe more. Damn, son, you're smart. See? End quotes. That's why they edited this part. That's why at 11. Yeah. And quote would prefer. We, so it's a US who's asking. So the US must have asked the question. Because why would you say this statement in quotes? See? This thought came from somewhere. Would prefer we, the US, so an American probably asked the question, hold a patent as opposed to paying forevermore to use this revolutionary technology. So that means it's revolutionary technology. Okay, I get it now. Hasia asserts this will become a reality. That's because it's real and you're thinking about 50 years from now. So that most likely you're talking about it has to be a type of portal technology because that's never going to decay. Sadly for you, uh, human beings are going to switch to Ubuntu, which is not good for you. But that's a good thought. It's just gonna fail really fast. Yeah, it has to be that. It has to be. I mean, yeah, by anti-gravity, I figured this shit out, and the guy I mentioned, Gary Mosher, figured this shit out. And it's not anti-gravity. It's just not uh, vulnerable to the forces of this. That's that an object typically is been exerted on. In this case, push force by the outside gravity. That explains the black holes. It's push force. Yeah, it explains everything so far. Push force. It doesn't make sense. It's anti-gravity because let me explain why it doesn't make sense real quick before I stop the video. Okay, the current theory is that gravity equals you have the planet pulling you. How the hell do you do that? Pulling you to its core. Okay, if true, that would mean that, like a pole will have to have a. It doesn't make sense. It, it doesn't make sense to me because all the objects in this planet are being. It seems like they're being pushed at the same rate, not pulled. Cause why? Doesn't make sense. Jesus. Hold on. I just remember something else. You you need to mention. I hope you mentioned this video about the catfish oil and the third eye, which does work, by the way. It's really funny. Once you have it open, uh, you will get like a bunch of mental images, if you will, like a cascade of mental images, like whatever you want to know, you'll just get it. It's it's really cool. But you got that, and the other one was another vision I had of the third eye was it looks when it's opened, it looks like a pentagon. You know, like the Pentagon from the U.S. You know, Pentagon 5 sides. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, you see like a cascade on from each side. You see like a cascade from one side and this side and this side and this side and this side, all cascading into the center of the pentagon. And it looks like rainbow colored, if you will, just cascading. It looks like cascading into the same point. And yeah, and the catfish oil thing was he's talking about the old person. Uh, old person, that was me. Okay, not senior. You said old. Okay. Um, he's talking about Pete Peterson, right? So what I hope he mentions, let's see if he does, is that he was talking about the catfish oil, how the catfish oil equals omega-8, but very importantly, you can buy it on Amazon or eBay, it doesn't matter. People just have to know that it exists and it works, just slowly but surely. Just like I mentioned in another video about fluoride, we need it, but not that much. Okay, just not that much. So catfish oil, haritaki, magnesium flakes. That way you can open your third eye slowly but surely. It's gonna happen, and you can do the Nityananda meditation. You'll get real cool stuff happen to you. Um, so yeah, the catfish oil helps detoxify the pineal gland. Oof, you can also hear binaural beats, which is sound. You can look it up on YouTube. You can hear it and sound. I do it through the neurophone. That's another thing. And it goes to my permanent memory. But yeah, let me see if. Oh no. Let me see. Because it's better if I